Good Saturday morning. I think I figured out a way to get my phone to stay in the little holder now. Some people talk about how great duct tape is. Well, rubber bands are great too. They help things to work. So hopefully I won't have any trouble today. I'm wanting to order some little mounts and stuff. I've just not got around to it. And I'm not sure today what I'm gonna call this. But I'm gonna start with a story. Well, I said we may not have trouble. We'll see here. I am. See if I can get it adjusted. Might just be a little, moving a little. Anyway, I'm gonna start with a story. And you know, the past few days I've been talking about, being determined, and you have to motivate yourself and everything like that, and going through a hard time. Well, I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and I was talking about how rough of a week it had been, and how the devil had really battled like we knew he would, because we're fixing to go into Bible school, and we knew the devil would fight us because he doesn't want us to be ready and prepared for that and be a help to somebody. So we knew it was going to be a battle. Well, I was talking about it, and I was like, it's just little nitpicky stuff, and it made me think of how the devil works. He'll do little nitpicky stuff that is just silly, and it just keeps building and adding, and then we're mad before we know it. And the devil knows what'll get us mad. Well, we was talking about that, and she said something. I think there's a little mat or something's going in here. I hate that. Can't stand stuff in the car with me. She said, but we know that's what it is. I don't pay no attention to it. And what started it is I said, I'm surprised you got anything done this week. I'm surprised any of us did, because she had got a lot of stuff done this week, had worked on a project and got a lot done this week. And she'd showed me a picture of it. And I was like, I'm surprised any of us has got anything done. The way the devil's fought all week, and with everything going on, I've had trouble at the shop, the internet being down, just crazy stuff. Just a bunch of just little nitpicky, silly stuff. But it hinders you. So, when you're hindered and you can't get done what you want to get done, you get aggravated if you're me. So, and I know that's not the way to be about it, but it's a struggle. Well, she was like, I just don't pay no attention to it. She said, you can't. You know that's what it is. You know that's what he's doing. He's just trying to get you aggravated and upset. And I was like, yeah. And I said, he wants us to quit. And what we need to do, and what we're supposed to do, is when things get harder and when he really is fighting us, is to pray harder, to pray more. And that's something that I've really failed at this week, which further helps along the trouble of the week and the devil having a heyday, is I've not been praying like I need to be praying. And that's the thing, is there's a scripture in the Bible, and I can't remember exactly where it's at. I'd have to look it up, but I've read it, and it's mentioned a lot at church, is having done all to stand, still stand. And it's like, God encouraging us to stand, to be strong, to be courageous. And that's in there too. And when we're faced with that and we're having trouble, we can always call on God and we can always get help. And my thing is I remember yesterday walking through the shop saying, God help me. Please help me do better. Because I would get aggravated about something. And I don't want to be aggravated. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to have that kind of spirit about me. Because that doesn't help anybody. That's not showing anybody Jesus. I want people to see Him in me. And acting very carnally is not going to do that. so I was like, oh God, please help me. But, and I think that's great. And I truly believe that He hears that. I truly believe that He hears us. And He knows when we call on Him. He knows everything. He knows our thoughts. And He hears that. And I believe it matters and He does help us. I know He does, because we're not just completely lying dead and defeated. It's a miracle that we're even alive. Because if the devil had his way, I'd have been out of here from the start. I wouldn't have made it this far. But we need to really press our way. And I thought about that this morning. And I was in a rush and completely still forgot and left. But it's important to have an altar, to go to your altar and just stop and completely give God your full attention and pray earnestly. And it changes things. It makes a huge difference. Like, it really does. And it makes me think of Daniel. And if you go to church, you hear about it all the time of how Daniel prayed. And I just read it the other day, actually, about how he would go into his house like 3 times a day and would pray. He was definitely like pressing his way to the Lord and praying earnestly. And that's what the devil can't stand. And the amazing part is, and something that I think we forget and we have trouble with, is God has the victory. Don't matter what the devil's trying to do, his nonsense, God has the victory. And that's what we have to keep at the forefront of our mind. It doesn't matter what the devil's doing, the tricks he's pulling, the doubt and the fear that he's feeding you. God has the victory, and we have to hold on to that. We have to know. And if we know God, if we know Him and have a relationship with Him, then we know that He's going to take care of us. He loves us. And it's going to be fine. It's going to work out exactly like it's supposed to. But the key that sometimes I think we really forget, and we're like, well, God, why is God letting this happen? And blah, blah, blah. We have to do what we're supposed to do. We have to be obedient to God. We have to put God first in our lives. We have to lean on Him, and we have to do what He gives us. You can't just go out and turn your back on God and do whatever you want to do and live in the flesh and just run wild and crazy and free and not have a care about nothing, and your life full of sin, and then wonder why your life's a mess and why you're struggling and why you're depressed and everything going on. And there are times, even when we're doing the best that we can and we are doing the right thing, that we will have to suffer some things. You will have to suffer with depression. You will have to suffer with things that you just don't understand. But we have to do the best that we can do. We have to put Him first. And when you do that, it makes things so much better going to be a battle. Period. Every day it's going to be a battle. If the devil's not battling you, and if you're not struggling, and he's just pulling this nitpicky stuff, then he's got you. He don't have no reason to fight you. The devil's fighting you for a reason. If you was nothing and wasn't doing nothing and wasn't making a difference or anything, he wouldn't be fighting you. He wouldn't care. He would be over there fighting the people that are trying to help somebody, that are trying to make a difference and reach their purpose. So stand strong. Hold on, we're in this together. It is a battle, but we're going to make it. God has the victory. I love you guys. I got to get my day started. I'll be praying for you. Please be praying for me. Like, share, comment, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you guys later.